this morning.
Can you tell us at all about where he was located and how that arrest went down?
I know that investigators advised me that our tactical support unit attended an address in Oshawa yesterday evening, and this is when he was arrested, and he was taken into custody without incident, and I know that he's now before the courts.
Did Corsman live at this home and this address?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Constable, can you tell us a bit about the relationship between Mr. Bennett and the victim? Was there any previous relationship?
I know that he was involved in a relationship with the victim, the 39-year-old Krasimira Pechanovsky. So he was in a relationship with her. There was some history there. And I know the other two deceased, Roy and Vanelia Pechanovsky, they were daughter and son of the female.
Do we know how long of a relationship they were in?
I don't have that information.
You know, it takes some 3.5 hours to find the third victim in the house.
We didn't find a third victim in the house. The third victim was taken to a hospital, and that person was pronounced at a trauma center in Toronto late last night.
You said you didn't find her in the house. Where did you find her?
No, sorry, she was found in the house, but she wasn't pronounced at the scene. She was in the residence, transported by ambulance just after we arrived, and then taken to a trauma center in Toronto.
The second victim, though.
Clarify, you said you found her just after you arrived, but by our indication it was some 3.5 hours. Is that incorrect?
I don't know where you're getting your information, but an ambulance left the scene yesterday after we initially arrived, transporting that female to local hospital, and then she was later transferred to a Toronto area trauma center by land ambulance.
George,
So
I think
you found her right away upon arriving on scene.
That is correct, yes.
So, George, the 39-year-old and the 15-year-old were the deceased in the home. However, one of those two individuals, there was ambulances that arrived yesterday, and that individual, to our indication, was found sometime after the first individual. Can you talk a little bit about that discrepancy there and what the timeline was finding the second victim in the home?
Sure. I know that the second party was located, obviously, after the first. I don't have a time frame as to when. I know that it is protocol for us to contact EMS to come and do to advise a pronunciation of death. So I know that they did attend, and that person obviously was pronounced. I don't have the time frame of that. I mean, it is before the courts right now, so I'm not going to be able to get into the specifics. These are all details that will be outlined in the court process.
Can you tell us at all if the body was concealed at all?
Sorry, yeah.
Can you tell us how they died? What were what if anything was used? A weapon? Was it strangulation?
Oh, I know that they will be sent the victims are going to be sent to the Center of Forensic Sciences for a post-mortem, and as soon as we get those results back, we'll have a better understanding of exactly, how they died, and we're currently in there right now. We have our forensic officers that are in there, and they're collecting evidence and going through the whole residence, so this will take time.
If there were obvious signs of trauma when the police arrived. Was there anything noticeable?
I can confirm that, yeah, there was obvious signs of trauma. However, cause of death, that's not up to us to release. That's going to be up to the experts at the Center of Forensic Sciences.
Was one of the bodies concealed?
Sorry?
Was one of the bodies concealed? Is that why it took some time to find the second body?
I can't, like I said, because it's before the courts, I'm not going to be getting into the specifics of it.
So an ambulance was called around 2:30, or at least arrived on the scene at 2:30. Who was that for then, if that was some 3 hours after the initial call?
Well, like I said, that was to confirm that the person was deceased. That was a call that was made to paramedics, and they did attend the scene.
So when was the 13-year-old taken to hospital?
I don't know the exact time. I know that it was probably after the mid-afternoon. They were, I guess the hospital advised that she was able to be transported. She was taken by land ambulance to a trauma center and then later pronounced dead later in the evening.
Why wasn't she taken to a trauma center immediately?
That's not up to our discretion. That's up to the paramedics, and they make that determination.
So paramedics were on scene right from 11 in the morning, and they made the call not to transport this girl until 2:30 in the afternoon.
I'm not sure exactly how it goes, but I know that I can only say that she was taken to a local hospital by paramedics, and then later the doctors decided that patient should go to a trauma center.
So it wasn't an instance of police not finding her for some 3 hours?
No, the person, I think you're mistaken, but the person that you're referring to was taken to a hospital shortly after we arrived.
So George, yesterday you were saying that the victims, all of them were found within the property. Do you have any more specifics if they were found all inside the home, or were some of them found outside the home?
They were found within the house.
Within the house.
Yeah.
Were they all found in the same rooms, possible, or were they found at different places in the house?
Unfortunately, we won't be releasing those details.
Can you just
Where
explain,
was,
possible, can you just explain the process of how, like, who alerted police, but who first kind of found out what was going on and called police and what happened there?
Sure. I know that a female did attend the residence to check on the well-being of one of the occupants within the home, and she was confronted by a male party. At that point, I guess she felt it was suspicious, contacted police. We arrived here shortly after for an unknown trouble call, and that's when we made the discovery of the victims.
Do you know why at all she came to the home?
Yes, I just said that she was coming to check on the well-being of somebody.
Corey Fenn have a criminal record? Was he known to police?
He was known to police. Unfortunately, I won't be getting into his history or anything further.
So you say she came to check on the home. I mean, was the woman who lived there supposed to be somewhere and she didn't show, or is that why the woman kind of showed up? Or?
I don't know the exact details. Like I said, these are all things that are going to be coming out in court as the process continues.
So our reporting is that
address before for domestic-related complaints or concerns.
I don't have that information. I don't know.
There
Our
was a
reporting
third
is that-
child. Where was she?
Sorry?
There was another daughter. Where was the other daughter?
She was here in the residence.
She was in the
No,
residence?
the one that's
third one,
surviving,
the one that
surviving
survived.
child.
The surviving child?
the 16-year-old.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
There was
There was no one at the scene. That party was not at the scene at any point.
So where was she, do we know?
I don't know, but she was not at the residence. She was located by officers, and she was located safe and sound.
So our reporting is that the 39-year-old woman did not show up to work, and one of her coworkers came to this house. At that point, was she confronted by Mr. Fenn, and when did he flee the scene? Was she still within the street? Was she in the area when he fled?
Well, I can't confirm the details or how you got those. I don't know. I'm not too privy as to exactly what was transpired during the interviews of the witnesses. The only thing I was told and what we have released was that a female did attend the residence to check on the well-being of one of the occupants, confronted by a male party, and she felt it was suspicious, contacted police for some assistance, and that's when we got involved in the case here on Hillings.
Constable, can you just talk about what police are looking for today, the day after this happened? What are they looking for inside?
Well, the investigation still continues as far as our involvement here at the scene. Our forensic officers will be canvassing inside that house, looking for any evidence, taking photographs, anything that's going to help with the process that's now before the courts. So we'll probably be here for the remainder of the day. And I know that the homicide investigators, they're now working on the court process, and I know that they're going to be bringing the accused before the courts at some point this morning.
The vehicle that you
Concerns in terms
seized
of
yesterday.
Fenn's employment and in terms of working with children.
We're not going to be getting into his background, and that's up to his employer as far as what they're going to do. I don't know.
The employer says that it's up to you to release that
Yes.
information.
Well, we have released that information, what they do with that information now, but at this point, we're not going to be releasing his occupation or anything like any
Did
involvement.
Mr. Fenn work for the TDSB?
I won't be able to confirm that. We don't normally confirm somebody's employment. I can only confirm the charges, the names, and anything that's before the courts right now.
Yesterday you were saying that he fled in a vehicle. You did not know whether or not that was his vehicle. Do you know any more specifics about that truck?
I know that it was a vehicle that he was in. That vehicle was located. I don't believe it was registered to him.
Were any weapons found in that vehicle?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Constable,
No.
I know you say that this is a mother and her 3 children, and that Mr. Fenn is in a relationship. Was there at least 3 children who have a father who's around or known, or has he been contacted?
Yeah, there is next of kin that has been contacted, and he's obviously aware of the whole situation. We have been working with him the whole time.
Constable Tunos, can you just talk about, the emotion of this? Obviously, we were talking to residents. They're completely in shock. We've been talking to friends. This is quite a scene to have 3 members of the same family, teenagers and a mother, murdered.
Yes, and you know what? Yesterday here at the scene, I've had numerous people from the community approach me in tears, And you know, it must be very difficult, not just for the victims' families, but also the whole community. I mean, it is a whole, like I said, a whole family, 3 people that are now deceased, and it does affect everybody within the community, not only the victims. And obviously, thoughts and prayers go out to the family members and the community as well, too.
So the 16-year-old in custody of her father at this point?
I don't know. I don't know exactly where she is right now, but I know that she was reunited with her father at some point yesterday.
Do you believe there was any duration in terms of a discovery of the scene and when the actual alleged murders took place? Do you believe it was overnight or in the morning?
That's something that our investigators will be looking at, and also post-mortem results will also help expand that and give us some more direction as to when it occurred, how it happened, cause of death. So these are all answers we don't know, and we're hoping that we'll get those results back so we have a little bit of a clear picture as to exactly what transpired in this residence.
And you can't say whether or not police were ever called here for any other incidents?
I don't personally have that information. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't have that. He was known to police, yes.
And you can't speak to how, why he was known to police?
No, we don't get into his previous background or his previous police involvements. We won't be releasing that information.
So there were 2 charges when you spoke to us last night. That's been updated to, or 3, but now it's 3 murder charges. When was that updated?
That was updated this morning before the courts. That information was sworn by homicide investigators this morning. There was 1 count of attempted murder, which was upgraded to second-degree murder. So that brings now the count to 3 counts of second-degree murder.
You said that he was taken into custody peacefully. Did he have any weapons on him at the time? And can you speak to the residence that he was found within, and if those folks, if there was anyone there with him, and if those folks are being interviewed?
I don't have much information as to the details of that arrest. I just know that it was in an Oshawa residential community where he was located on a premise, obviously hiding from police, and that's all I have as far as the arrest goes.
Are there any potential charges of aiding and abetting?
Not that I've been made aware of.
Constable, can you just talk about a little bit about what it was like when he was arrested? I mean, what was his demeanor? Did he just...
I wasn't there, unfortunately, so I don't have the answers to that. I'll take one more question and then I'll wrap it up.
Can you provide any more details on the victims? I know that the 15-year-old was a hockey player, is pretty well known, popular kid. Any more details on the mother or the son or the daughter?
I don't have any further history on the family, but I know that they were very well liked within the community. We have a lot of people and a lot of community members that have been, sending their condolences. So I know they were a very well liked family. Thanks very much, everyone. Okay.
George Tudos with Durham.
I can answer that after here.
Okay, so that is Constable George Tudos with Durham Regional Police giving us an update. We can show you a picture right now of the 13-year-old Nana Pachinowski who succumbed from her injuries at that trauma center yesterday.